Good afternoon, folks. I'm going to get the UN misinformation box for this one, but I don't care. Let's go over why the atmospheric discourse is complete nonsense these days. This is true for many reasons, but the best one, in my opinion, is when you play devil's advocate. You just let them have their story that the Earth is getting hotter and hotter. Well, this can only lead to a massive and rapid cooling event on this planet. Last time it happened, it brought the greatest famines in known history, and essentially, we've got a trifecta of items ready to be unleashed at this time: the Beaufort Gyre, the AMOC collapse, and a Heinrich event. For those who don't know, a record amount of cold, fresh water is in the Beaufort Gyre, and when it releases, it's going to be a big deal. Yale University called this the cold climate bomb just a few years ago as the record fresh water was accumulating, and as we learned just last year, it has stabilized its maximum accumulation and it is ready to release. This is going to amplify the collapse of the AMOC, the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, which scientists believe could begin its demise in as little as 2 years from now. Now, while you can read any scientific paper on the AMOC collapse and find out how it's going to drive major cold, the Weather Channel said it best just a couple weeks ago. It's going to be similar to the scenario from the Ice Age movie, The Day After Tomorrow. But it actually gets worse, because the historical cold maker is happening right now as well. We are entering a Heinrich event. These occur when too much polar heat melts ice, and that contributes to the cooler, fresher ocean, but on a massive scale. One of the best modern studies complementing the mountain of historical studies is this one: more cold, more storms. That's what happens when you melt the polar region. There is already extra cloud cover albedo building due to the heating that has taken place, due to the extra evaporation, and when the tipping point in the oceans occurs from there being colder and fresher, creating colder winds and more easily producible sea ice in winter, things are going to swing the other way very quickly here on Earth. There is not evidence of all of these things happening at the same time in thousands of years, but the freshwater release, the melting ice, and the collapse of the circulation means that every ounce of warming we see is a lead foot on the gas pedal towards the next glacial and ice age condition. Not only is this evident in all of the observable data here on Earth, but we are due for it in the natural cycle. Heinrich events have been happening every 6,000 years. It's been 6,000 years since the last one, and the Earth is already starting to do it again. 6,000 years ago, by the way, is officially designated as a tropical hydroclimate event, since it's the first one in an interglacial warm cycle of the Holocene instead of the previous ones, which were within a glacial cycle. But the process is still similar. So on top of the geomagnetic changes our planet is seeing, we've got major cold driving events on deck as well. These next 2 decades are going to be very unfriendly to agriculture, infrastructure, and to us.